Welcome back to another episode of Smack the Odds. Let's go. Woo! We've been making money. Clap, give it up if you've been making some money. We've been doing phenomenal this week. Undefeated as of this week. Thanks to great analysis, great insight, and just a feel for the game. Breaking news, under investigation. The NBA has Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier. This may change the landscaping of betting. You heard it first. That's right. Players can't take days off. They got to play harder. I think, it's unfortunate that these gentlemen make millions and millions of dollars and still manage to get involved in allegedly illegal gambling. So the FBI is under investigation for Terry Rozier and also Chauncey Billups due to these events that occurred. Chauncey Billups, they said that it was related to poker, poker, having illegal poker games. Terry Rozier, I seen some clips on Instagram where it just looked like he was just shooting terrible, man. Like he really wasn't even trying, but I think this, it's unfortunate that it had to happen to these gentlemen. It's no disrespect to them. I'm just going off of what I know and what I'm reporting. I feel terrible that happened to them, but, it's something that the league has to take action on because a lot of people are invested in the NBA. The league just got $10 billion from several networks. So they want to make it competitive. They don't want, people out there throwing games or playing subpar. They want to put on a good show and they want to get real results. So I think they need to also look deeper into referees and see what's going on with them. But that's another story for a different day. I'm going to jump right on into it. Thank you guys for subscribing. Do like, subscribe, share. If you're not a member of my Instagram group, follow me at Maine Simon. Click the link in bio. Smack the Odds free picks. Just been on a tear in that group. Tons of wins. If you can't afford the upgrade to the VIP pass, you could go into the free picks group. I'm dropping free picks in there regularly and just making people a lot of money. So I want to get right into it. We had Brooklyn Nets on the plus money against Charlotte early on this week on Tuesday. They got blown out. Man. 136 to 117. They didn't even put up a fight. It looked really embarrassing to see how lackluster they was playing. I mean, not rebounding, not defending. Seems like Charlotte was getting everything that they wanted. We lost the battle, but we won the war, right? We lost at the plus 5.5, but took them in game, right, at minus 13.5 on Charlotte, and we won that. That's what I talk about when I talk about betting arbitrage. You got to learn how to read the game and understand how the game's being played. You could also lose if you don't know what you're doing betting arbitrage, but it's a great way to hedge your bets to make sure that your bets are protected if you're watching the game and you see in the flow of the game and you notice different runs and changes. But we won the war on that one, and we also won on the other game that was played, which was Victor Wembanyama over 25 points. The guy is an alien, an avatar. Nothing has been seen like him in the NBA thus far. Definitely a monster. And I got him this year. He's going to be running in the runnings for MVP this year. That performance was excellent and great performance. They obliterated the Mavericks, 125-92. The Mavericks looked slow. Anthony Davis shot terrible from the field. Look for him to bounce back in the next game. But it's challenging. Everyone that faces Wembanyama, it's a challenge. The guy's going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. Hands down, easy call. He's a monster. He's terrible. No one wants to face him. I just see offensives run from the lane and just start becoming three-point shooters. All of a sudden, you got guys 6'11" shooting three-pointers because they don't want to go in there on them. So I love the Spurs. I love what they got going on over there. And that game Crazy game. They beat them by 33 points. They beat them by 33 points in Dallas. So, I don't know what's going on there. But Dallas, you guys got to get it together. I know Kyrie is still hurt, and he'll be returning later on in the year. They say he's on pace to return later on in the year, and we look forward to seeing him. Everybody loves Kai. Kai does some great things. And my sleeper team, the Jazz, came out and just really shocked a lot of people. They got a young team, one of the youngest teams in the league, and they blew out the Clippers. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins used to play for Utah. Now he's on the Clippers, and his old team gave him the business. Business got done, but, the Jazz looked really, really good. They was hitting really good from the field, 3-point jump shots. Shout out to Sandoval. Sandoval has really worked on his game. They also got Hendricks over there. I like Taylor Hendricks, what he's doing. And Ace Bailey, man, he didn't have a good game against the Clippers, but I love what they're doing over there with him, pairing him with Walter Payton. Walter Payton, he actually won the national championship over at Florida just a year prior. So he has winning pedigree all over him. So huge salute to the Jazz. That would have broke the bank if you took them on Wednesday. It was plus 320, and they covered. Not only did they cover, they blew out the Clippers by 21 points. So shout out to the Utah Jazz and the people out there in Utah. Salute. Okay, we gonna get right into the next picks. These picks are your picks for October 24th, Friday. And the picks that I have, you guys want to grab a pen and paper. I'm going to go through this really, really fast just to give you guys some value and offer you just some of the picks I like, some of the things you may want to pay attention to before betting. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Gambling, you can lose money. You can lose everything. But you want to maintain good bankroll management and make sure that you are knowledgeable of the game prior to accepting or placing a wager. Now let's get right into it. Okay, so we have Cleveland at Brooklyn. I really love this game. I like a lot of things about this game that matches up. Number one, on Wednesday, Cleveland just faced New York, right? They took a loss. So we're going to stay in New York. We get 2 days to rest. We staying in New York, so they're not traveling nowhere. 2 days to rest, and then they right back at it against the Nets. The Nets are coming back from Charlotte, which they had a terrible loss there. Expect this game to go over. I expect it to go over. I have to check on what they're laying, but I'm looking at it going over. I think people are going to play a lot harder based on the ruling that came down from the NBA. I look for Jarrett Allen to bounce back. He had a subpar performance against the Knicks. I think he only finished with 5 points and about 5 rebounds. So Brooklyn's a smaller team with Nick Claxton at the starting 5. I think Jarrett has a monster rebound day, and he bounces back rather adequately from the subpar performance against the Knicks. So that's one of the picks that I have. They're laying 12.5 on Cleveland. I think Cleveland covers that 12.5, and it looks to me like it's a blowout line. So that's one of the predictions that I have. Do sign up. Link in the bio if you want to get my daily picks, VIP picks. We also have Boston going up against the Knicks. This is a rematch of the Eastern Conference semifinals. You have Jaylen Brown, who against Philly, he had a decent game. Wasn't his best game against Philly, but I know he still feels that pain of the loss to the Knicks and not advancing to fight for an NBA championship. So I do expect him to bounce back. Another person that I see bouncing back and playing really well in this game is Kata. I think Kata at the 5 with Boston, New York, they're probably going to start Ariel because Mitchell Robinson is still hurt. I feel Kata could get a lot of rebounds in this game and really be the difference maker in this game. Look for Anthony Simons to have a big game in this game against the Knicks. The Knicks play with pace. The guards are not big guards. They're not as big as the guards that they normally have in the league that are long and tall. The Knicks has smaller guards that aren't as long. So I feel like he'll get a few spot-up jump shots, really open up the game in that New York versus Boston. And this is a rivalry, right? This dates back to the early 70s, this rivalry. So rivalry games, I love to go with the home team on that. So I see the Knicks winning. I don't know if they're going to cover the spread or the line, but I do see the Knicks winning that game. Next, we have the Detroit Pistons. They're coming into Houston, right? Houston, it just came off a tough loss against OKC in overtime. I feel good about this game. Detroit coming off a loss as well against the Bulls. So I think this game goes over, Detroit and Houston. I feel like they match up pretty. Houston does have a little bit of length there. And, the Thompson brothers will be facing each other. So I think that'll be fun to watch. And I think it'll be a good game. That's the 8 o'clock game. Remember, if you're putting in a parlay, you want to spread your parlay out. You don't want to have your parlay everything in the 7:30 games, like the 7:30 games. You want to split it up, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That way you offer some leverage for yourself to be able to cash out. You don't want to not be able to cash out. I won a few days ago. I had the Pelicans. It was the Pelicans, Toronto, and the Knicks, right? And being that the game started at different times, I was able to do bet and arbitrage again and still cashed out more than double my initial investment on my bet. I could have won 8 times the bet because it was a parlay, but I'll settle for 3 times and just cashing out after I know and I pay attention to the game. I knew what was happening and what was going on, so I decided to cash out there. But it was a great game, and we're going next. We have a really interesting matchup. I love this matchup. San Antonio at New Orleans. You're going to be able to see Victor Wembanyama in New Orleans against Zion Williamson. I think this is going to be a great test for Zion. He came in 20 pounds lighter this season. I really, like I said before, I love New Orleans. I love what they're doing, and they have great chemistry. You got Sadiq Bey. You just picked him up from Washington. Jordan Poole, Jeremiah Fears, Trey Murphy, and you also have Hurd. So I think they have a good continuity there. I feel like they could use some new bench help, maybe get a few veterans on the bench to help them. But San Antonio is looking really good. They're a well-coached team. They've played together. They have continuity. They're young. They're fast. They could play fast. They could hit the 3 ball. So I definitely like San Antonio in this game. I love San Antonio in this game. Money line, San Antonio. You can bet the house on it. They're not losing that game. Okay, we have Golden State and Portland. I want to get into that, which is a nice matchup. Portland, for some reason, I don't know if this is just by coincidence or whatever, but for some reason, Portland always plays Golden State tough. And Golden State is on a triple hitter, not a back-to-back triple hitter. So this is their 3rd game. They've been playing since the season opened. I look for Portland. I'll take Portland first half on this game just due to Golden State being a little fatigued. They just had a double overtime game against Denver tonight in which they won. I predicted that as well. And I predicted as well Denver covering the first half in my Discord. So if you're not in my Discord, jump in my Discord as well. That is going to help you leverage yourself. You may get some information, up-to-date information. I'm all about community, right? If you don't have the finances to purchase a pick, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to make my money from the books. All right. So I'm not worried whether or not you sign up or not. That's up to you. I'm not worried about it. But what you can do is like, subscribe, invite friends to the group, share, comment. And if you want to send me a Starbucks gift card, a cup of coffee, whatever it is, I'm thankful. All right. I'm not going to bust your chops over it. I'll be thankful. And, it'll show some sort of gratitude. A lot of times in my group in Instagram, in the channel, you can go to the channel right now. I haven't lost all regular season. I haven't at all. And this is free picks group. I'm not even giving you all my juice. I'm just giving you guys, a little swaggle. And you guys are winning money. So at least you could do is just show a little bit of love. Like, share, comment. That makes me feel good. I'm not doing this for monetary gains. I'm doing this to help build the community of people that enjoy the sports betting and they want to make good choices. So that's what I do it for, right? So with that being said, Golden State versus Portland. I really like this matchup. Like I said, I like Portland first half. They got some young, fresh legs over there. They picked up Drew Holiday in the trade for Anthony Simons over at the Blazers. They also have Sharp, who's really good. I like Sharp. He does a lot of great things. Clingan. You also have Danny. Danny, he shoots. He defends well. You got Kamara. I like their team. They got a young team. And I think they're going to play hard due to their coach, Chauncey Billups. We'll pray for Chauncey Billups, man. I'm not going to say anything bad about Chauncey Billups' big shot because a lot of big moments, and I look up to Big Shot. So just sad what's going on over there. Next, we have the Utah Jazz versus Sacramento Kings. You want to pay attention to this game. The thing with Sacramento, they have tons of offensive firepower in Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Schroeder. But what I've yet to see is real knockdown shooter. Like, yeah, you got Malik Monk, but after trading Herter to the Bulls, there's yet to be someone to step in to be that third spot up shooter. I think they're missing that. Also, I think they lack front court depth and also height. So a lot of teams that are bigger and stronger, they're going to have trouble with. So Utah is a big team. They're physical. They're young. They could shoot, and they push the pace as well. So I like this game. I like the under in this game, though. For some reason, I like the under in this game. Call me crazy. That's one of my predictions in this game, the under in this game. But that will conclude the second episode of Smack the Odds podcast. Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate you guys. Once again, do like, comment, share if you found value. Once again, you could follow me everywhere at Maine Simon, or you can also join the free group on Instagram at Maine Simon. Link is in the bio. And I thank you guys for sharing this time for me. I'm out. Peace, love, and multiple blessings, everyone.